The movie opens up with Deadpool, and we see him digging up Wolverine. He's angry that Wolverine is dead. He's monologuing about needing Wolverine help, and then the TVA shows up. Deadpool jumps out and uses Logan's skeleton to beat the TVA. He kills all of them, and the scene freezes. In the past, Wade talks with Mr. Happy. He tells him he wants to matter and that he needs to be an Avenger. Happy tells him the Avenger do their job because they're needed. He walks with him and tells him he should aim for the middle. 6 years later, Wade is in the locker room, and Peter comforts him. Wade tells him he is done with superheroing. They're cycling and Wade notices some men. Wade is surprised in his home, and he talks to his friends. They gather around, and Wade thanks everyone for coming and celebrating with him. He goes to check who's at the door and finds the army from earlier. He eventually got captured and was taken to a room. A man called Paradox introduces himself and takes Wade somewhere. He tells him he could save the sacred timeline. He shows him the MCU and tells him he wants to give him an opportunity to leave his timeline and change things. Deadpool suits up and meets Paradox. He tells Paradox he's ready to go back home, but Paradox says his universe is dying. He tells Wade that the anchor being preventing his universe death has died away, and that anchor being was Logan. Paradox tells Wade he wants to be the TVA, and he will end Wade's universe quickly. He says that either Wade joins the sacred timeline, or he can die with his universe. Wade declines the offer. He takes his device and escapes. The scene comes back to the present, and Wade takes care of the remaining TVA soldiers. Deadpool travels through different timelines looking for a Wolverine to replace the anchor being in his universe. He finds a Wolverine in a bar and says he has to follow him. Logan collapses, and Wade manages to bring him back. Paradox tells him that he can't replace an anchor being and that he's brought back a Wolverine who failed their world. Deadpool says he'll report them to their higher-ups, and he sends Deadpool and Wolverine away. Wolverine is angry, and he asks Deadpool where they are. Deadpool asks Wolverine for help, but Logan doesn't care. He mentions Logan World, and this pisses off Logan. He throws Deadpool away, but Deadpool says he doesn't want to fight and he just needs Logan help. Logan doesn't care, so he and Deadpool gets ready to fight. They fight one another and repeatedly stab each other. Logan beats Deadpool up, and Deadpool tells him to wait. He says the TVA can fix Logan World, but they have to work together. Johnny calls their attention and tells them that they're coming. They are surrounded by some people, and Johnny tells them to stay close. Johnny transforms and blasts the man, but he absorbs his flames and cause him to fall down. Sabretooth recognizes Wolverine. They charge each other, and Wolverine kills him. Toad turns on a machine, and this attracts Deadpool and Wolverine. In the next scene, Deadpool and Wolverine are trapped. Johnny tells them they're in the void and Alioth is going to destroy them. Wolverine says the Resistance might be able to help them, but Johnny tells him it's either they work for Alioth or they're dead. They arrive in a giant Ant-Man, and Cassandra Nova comes out. Deadpool tells Cassandra what Johnny said, and this causes her to kill him. Deadpool tells her that he needs Wolverine to save his world from the TVA. Wolverine asks her about Charles, but she said he never bothered to find her. She tells them the TVA sent her down when she was little, and she had no Xavier to teach her temperance. Wolverine attacks her, but she stops him. She plays around with Deadpool mind and alters some of his memories. Wolverine attacks her from behind, but she throws him back. Alioth comes and attacks them, but Wolverine and Deadpool escape on a rocket. They land on a mountainside, and Wolverine tells Deadpool they have to find the people Johnny talked about. They then go to an abandoned restaurant, and Deadpool tells Logan about the Wolverine in his world. He tells him he wanted to be an Avenger and something meaningful. He says Logan was the X-Man. But the Wolverine disagrees. Logan asks Deadpool how he died in his world, and Deadpool tells him he died trying to save a young girl. Dogpool runs up and Wade catches her. We then see Nicepool come in, and Deadpool asks him about the survivors. Nicepool warns him about the Deadpool Corps and offers to lend them a ride. Nicepool shows them the car and they drive away. While driving, Deadpool asks what he would do if they fix his world. This upsets Wolverine, and he asks if Deadpool knows that they can fix things. He says Deadpool lied to him, and Deadpool tells him he needs his help to save his world. Wolverine says Deadpool is a joke, and that is why both the Avengers and X-Men rejected him. He says Deadpool will never save the world, and it is a pain that Deadpool can't die. Deadpool gets upset and fights him. Logan stabs Deadpool repeatedly, and Deadpool kicks him out, and they continue fighting. They pass out the next day, and an ominous person drives the car away. Deadpool wakes up, and he asks where they are. We then see Blade walk in, and then the Gambit walk in. Deadpool asks who brought them here, and a girl walks in. Deadpool tells Logan that is the girl he died for. They all said the TVA told them the universe is dying and took them to the void. He says they've met Cassandra, and she can help them. He tells them about Johnny's death, and if they can just find Magneto. Elektra tells him Cassandra killed and burned Magneto helmet. They say Deadpool and Wolverine might be their only chances to be remembered. They agree to work together. Laura goes to meet Logan and tell him it's because of him she was able to grow up. Logan tells her he failed his team and abandoned them. He says when he came back, all he met was their dead bodies. Laura tells him that they need him, and she leaves. Paradox talks with Pyro, and he tells her to take Cassandra out. The next day, they're headed to the lair. Blade blasts a missile at the lair, and they ride in. They square up and engage in an intense fight. They fight through the henchmen. Deadpool and Wolverine run and goes to meet Cassandra. Deadpool tells her they need to go home. She easily overpowers Deadpool and Wolverine. Meanwhile, Laura takes down Juggernauts. She enters Logan's mind and starts talking to him. She lets him talk about how he went on a killing spree upon seeing the X-Men dead. He tells her he wants to be free, and she tells him she can set him free. Laura tosses a bag to Deadpool, and he uses Juggernaut helmet to hold Cassandra. Cassandra tells them it's either they kill her or she kills them. Pyro comes in and shoots her. Logan punches him before he can finish talking. Cassandra is dying, and Logan tells Deadpool to remove the helmet. He says he's an X-Man and that this isn't what Charles would want. They save Cassandra, and Wolverine tells her that Charles would have loved her. She uses a ring and open a portal for them. Deadpool and Wolverine jump through, and they land back on Earth. Cassandra asks Pyro why he wanted to kill her, and he tells her about Pyro and the TVA. Paradox tells them to hurry with the Time Ripper, and Deadpool and Wolverine approaches him. Cassandra steps out of the portal and starts messing with Paradox's mind. She blasts Deadpool and Wolverine away. She tells Paradox she will use the Time Ripper and keep destroying universes until it is only the void that is left. The TVA are aware that Paradox is activating a Time Ripper. Cassandra controls Paradox, and he uses the machine. Dogpool runs out and goes to meet Deadpool. We then see multiple Deadpool come out of the portal. Deadpool tells them they aren't the enemy, and they should stop Cassandra. The other Pools refuses, and they fire at Deadpool. He uses Nice Pool as a shield and hides. Deadpool and Wolverine walk out. They square up and charge the others. They engage in an intense fight, but are winning against the other Deadpools. The Deadpools start regenerating and surrounds them. Peter shows up and stops the other Deadpool. They surround and chant his name. Cassandra activates the Time Ripper powers. Deadpool and Wolverine show up, and Paradox tells them that if Cassandra uses the Time Ripper power, she will be able to shred timelines. He tells them the only way to stop it is if they form a bridge to short-circuit the feeds. He tells them they will be killed if they do it. Wolverine tells Deadpool he will sacrifice himself, but Deadpool locks him outside. He tells Wolverine goodbye and grabs the wire. Logan keeps trying to break the door. Deadpool is unable to reach the other one, so Wolverine helps him. Deadpool has a flashback and tells himself he can finally matter. Wolverine also flashback, and he says he's proud to be an X-Man. They machine overloads and kills Cassandra. The TVA shows up, and Paradox denies knowing anything about the Time Ripper. He says it was men who heroically sacrificed themselves to save the universe. Deadpool and Wolverine then walk out. The TVA lady wants to take Deadpool away, but Peter stops her. They take Paradox away, and she shows them that his universe is coming back. Deadpool asks her to help his friends in the void, and she tells him she'll try her best. In the next scene, Wolverine and Deadpool are eating, and Dogpool runs towards him. Wolverine is about leaving, and Wade calls him back. They then go back to Wade home, and he introduces him to Al. The rest of them gather for dinner, and the movie comes to an end.